Hello and welcome to this video of our Peakboard Hub series. In this video I want to show you how you can manage your Peakboard applications via the Peakboard Hub. For this, let's go first into the Peakboard Designer, and we create here on the left a variable by clicking on Add Variable, and I call it test string. The data type I set to string, and then I have here the possibility to go on advanced, where I can set accessibility via API to read and write or to write only. We set it to read and write. Also have the possibility to constrain my variables to different values. Let's do so, and I allow here 3 different values, A, B or C. Now let's click here on OK. And we just put this variable on our screen. Now let's also add a list by doing the same way, but click here on Add List, and we call this here my list. Just add here one column, I call it C1 for column 1, and again I enter just some values here. And here again I have the possibility to set the accessibility via API, which allows us to interact with it with the Peakboard Hub later. Again, I have the possibility to set read or read and write, and again I will set read and write, so we are able to change the values later from Peakboard Hub. Let's also put this list here on our canvas. So next I want to add a global function here by clicking on Add on the functions, and I call it hello. And here by clicking on the shared function, I have also the possibility to later see this function in the Peakboard Hub. As return type I select here string, so I will give back a text later. I can again set here a parameter. Let's call this one name. And I could also set here the constraints like in the variable before, but in this case I will let it empty and click here on OK. Now here in this block editor I can just do whatever I want in my script. In our case we keep it very simple and we just return hello and the name passed through this function. Let's click on Save and Close. The last thing we have here to interact with the Peakboard Hub later is a local resource. In that case I can just drag and drop one from my Windows Explorer, and I will do so. Let's click here on OK. And by double clicking this resource I have again the possibility to change the accessibility. Let's again set it to read and write. And now I upload this application to my Peakboard box. And now let's go over to Peakboard Hub. Here in the mid you can now see the application uploaded to this Peakboard box. We can directly click here on Global Functions, which will allow to execute this function we've created before. But let's step into the Peakboard box to have the full power of the application. Here on the top we can select the application running on the Peakboard box and change it. We can delete it and upload a new one. On this button we can refresh the screenshot we see here from the Peakboard box. Let's now run one of our created things in the application. In that case, let's start with the function. Here we can see the parameter we've defined before, and I just enter here my name and click on execute. And now you can see here this return value we defined before, that was the hello and the name parameter. Also here in this variable now I can select one of the predefined constraints we had, and I change this test string to B and click here on OK. And now you can see the data has changed on my Peakboard box. Also I can see or change the resource we defined before by clicking on this button. Let's change it with that picture and click on open here. and you see that the picture has also changed. And last, we have the list published before, and again we can just manipulate this one by changing the value here, and again the change will happen on the Peakboard box. That's it for this video. See you in the next. Thanks for watching.